Sherrill will jump. He's back. Vokatitis is a freshman. He wins the tap for Texas in their burnt orange. Jordan Pope was a non-factor in that game against Tennessee. Has to be better tonight.
Rapids, a Texas team averaging 87 points a game and number 22 offensive efficiency. And it all starts with number 8 in that burnt orange, Vokatitis. He is a load, man.
No side to him, the 7-footer, 255, freshman out of Lithuania. This is a three-point shooting team, and Holloway's one of the best Nate Oates has ever seen. He dishes, and that first one is around and out. A nice rebound by Vokatitis.
Good start for Texas. Vokatitis just sitting in that drop coverage, and it's good game plan going in against Alabama.
All 5 of the Alabama Crimson Tide can shoot and will shoot the threes. Want to go down low. Swain, the left, and that's 4 points in the paint for Texas early.
That's a really tough matchup for Philon, who's given up about 5 inches, and Swain doesn't settle for a jump shot. He just hammers that ball inside off the bounce.
Holloway floater, no good. And Sherrill battles for it. He picks up the loose ball. Lamar Allen's been a revelation. Hard to the rack, no good. Sherrill, the tip, no good. And they're going to count the basket. Sean Miller is suggesting that it was a Crimson Tide player who affected the shot. Latrell Reitzel is not in action, will not be playing. He is dealing with a variety of injuries. Of course, he tore his Achilles last year. His other Achilles is bothering him. Yeah. He's got a finger and a groin issue, so he's out tonight.
Yeah, he's an 11-point scorer. Hadn't shot the three-point shot as well this year, but that's when you're not at full strength again. What, the 10th different starting lineup for Alabama this year in 16 games.
Swain no good, and Cam Heide, the junior, after spending a couple of years at Purdue, get called for the push on the back and an offensive foul.
Ravi, so important for Texas to hang in this game early. The first 8 minutes are critical. They're 0-2 in conference play. Can they get enough defensive stops and stay in front of the ball? A huge concern for Sean Miller to start this game.
Alabama under Nate Oates has always been one of the most prolific offensive teams in the country. They like shots at the rim like that one from Philon and three-point shots.
Good job by Philon to attack that drop cover and just kept attacking it. The drop kept dropping. It allows Philon to get all the way to the 10.
Swain back inside that paint, deep, puts it up and in, and he will have a chance. Played 22 in his last game, 5 points. That was against Tennessee. He was a non-factor, and again, he went for 34 in the game before against Mississippi State. So Miller implored him, every night you're playing an NBA guy, if you want to go next level, you got to perform against him. Corner three, Jemison again. All 5 can shoot it, and that's London Jemison, the freshman out of Bloomfield, Connecticut.
And that is cash money for Alabama's offense. The majority of their threes come from those deep corners.
Swain again, challenged, and that time blocked. Sherrill changes everything, both on the offensive glass and defensively with the block potential. Bad pass, here's Swain. Pretty play to Pope, reverse, no good! Jordan Pope's struggles continue. Holloway, 3 for Sherrill, why not? Yeah. Bang! Nate Oates complained after his last loss about selfishness not moving the ball. Yeah. They didn't have, 10 assists in that game, and tonight they're moving it.
9. Yeah. It ties for the lowest ever under Nate Oates here at Alabama.
Vokatitis has it. He's quickly triple teamed. Heidi's a good three-point shooter, but short there. Swain had it and lost it. Philon. Blocked from behind. No good for the freshman, and we get moving the ball a little better than they did in their loss against Vanderbilt.
Yeah, 9 assists against Vanderbilt, which is a low under Nate Oates. And if you're Alabama in this game tonight, you cannot let Vanderbilt beat you twice. Put that thing behind you, because Texas comes in, I think, with a desperate effort. No win so far.
Philon a floater. They've gotten all their points either in the paint, and they've also made 2 out of 3 from deep. They get a 5-point cushion.
Yeah, Texas 0-2 in conference play. You expect, and Nate Oates told his team the same thing today, you're going to get the best version of Texas early in this game.
Well, Texas has really tried hard to get the ball inside. Loose pass. Philon is beaten by Wilcher to it, and then a loose pass. Mark will shoot the 3. Got it.
That has been money for Mark in conference play. was in the 20th percentile in non-conference from three, but shooting a high clip these first three.
Yeah, 41%. Holloway beat his man, kicks it. They keep moving it.
What great recovery, though, by Texas right out of the scramble. Yeah, really well done. At Bama, you go home to Vanderbilt talking about Texas. Your effort has to be an absolute non-negotiable in this game.
That's been a problem for them early this season, effort. Jaleel Bethia into the game, another really good shooter for Alabama. Bol Bowen works the baseline. 4 seconds on the clock. No good. Good box out. Loose ball floor. Alabama dives on it. It'll be their possession.
Rabbi, Texas continues to run drop coverage. I'm talking about the post guy for Texas right now. It's Traore. He's just kind of plugging that lane, and as a result, those Alabama guards are going to have to come in with good decisions. Am I going to take the floater? Am I going to track defenders and spray it out? A lot of teams tried against Alabama, but it's an Alabama offense that's seen it all.
Again, Labaron Philon appears to be healthy after playing only 19 in his last game. With all those body cramps, he missed a three, and all of a sudden, after a hot start shooting, they've cooled off a little bit.
A lot of motion in Texas's offense. Sean Miller changed how he saw the game offensively the year that he set out from coaching. Studied Gonzaga, studied St. Mary's, Arizona.
5 out, though. It's amazing. With Vokatitis out of the game with the 2 fouls, they've gone completely different offensive set. Mark, baseline jumper. He got it. And
he's that good. Kind of a smaller version of Koa Pete out there at Arizona. Watch him today, just knocking down those 15-footers.
20 more points for him today, right?
Yeah.
Bama missed their last 3 three-point field goal attempts. So Philon came in and
Nate Oates told me about his offense, but watch those corners, man, to always be filled. And that's why you see that percentage of shots taken from there.
Good deflection there. Just to sum it up, they're 3 of 5 on corner threes tonight, 1 of 4 from head on. Tremont Markoff to a very fast start. He's got 11. Hangs. Oh, what a shot! From Sampson's Houston's teams were saying we couldn't stay in front of that guy.
No doubt.
Largest lead of the night for Texas, 27-21. Corner 3, Philon, no good. And Weaver does a good job. They're doing a good job on the defensive glass. Pope. Too strong. During shoot around, Miller's priority. You've got to get back on defense after a make, after a miss, because they're racing down the floor.
Yeah, they're coming 125 miles per hour, Alabama. He said, you can't run 57.
Holloway, great. Oh, Mark came over. He had a really
half time, which to me has always been the sign of a great shooter. That putting that kind of spin on it.
He mentioned John Petty, mentioned Miller, of course, there's great shooters here, but he says there's nobody that takes a backseat to Aiden Holloway. More inside work, and that's where they are living right now. That's a tough shot.
How good was that? But between 2 or 3 white jerseys.
See the game plan early. Jemison high arcing free, and it goes down.
Can't be late. You simply can't be late. You got to be there on the catch, take away the airspace, force Alabama to do something off the bounce. It's that simple.
London Jemison, he and Taylor Bol Bowen were singled out in that loss for their efforts. Long 3, Wiltshire. That's off, easy one there, and that's going to be a foul on the... Think about those last 2 fouls that Texas was called for. Mark, who's back in the game, and Swain. They don't have a ton of depth. They need their starters to give them minutes. Mark likes this matchup, though, if Philon goes over him and he comes up short.
Take all those you can in this game, though, if you're Tremont Mark.
Allen kick, wide open, short 3.
And again, Traore just, hey, go ahead and shoot it. I'm getting back here and plugging this lane up, even in transition. How good has 23 in burnt orange been when he's had to come in for Vokatitis?
It's been terrific, because that was a big drop-off in that game against Tennessee. He has it now, back inside, help from behind, and a good job by Philon to help. Millette wide open. It's Alabama's game. Mark's got 14. His season average is 12.5. Pope's feeling it. That's down.
Maybe that's just early ball screen action. You get the defense in a little bit of rotation and drag that defender off that side shooter. Man, how impressive is Texas to start this game?
Jordan Pope, a couple of threes already. He was a non-factor and had one all year. Noah, no good. That's Williamson. And the three ball, live and die by it. Alabama finds themselves in a 37-28 hole. Pope.
And if you're again Texas, your turnovers are very low in this game. You're moving the ball side to side, forcing Alabama to say, do I really want to guard in this game or not?
3 turnovers in the game total. Wilcher, no. I think Pope regrets not taking that 3. No good. They made an 0 for their last 5, but it's tipped back up and in.
Good hustle by Williamson. If you're a big and you just run to the front of the rim either way, you're going to be in a good spot to make a play. And well done by 15 in white.
Mark to his left, denied that time. Williamson all over him, and an active couple
guys in that direction. Tremont Mark leading the way so far tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The first 14 minutes, despite the fact that they're up 7, the more important part has been the effort that he has gotten from his guys. Mark, no good, off the mark. He's been on it most of the night, leading the way with 14 points.
Boy, Texas squaring up their chest on that ball.
Heidi got away with holding Bol Bowen's jersey.
You want to make Alabama have banana drives, not straight line drives. They've done a pretty darn good job of it so far.
Yeah, Titus just sent Philon to the ground. Wilcher 1-on-4. No chance there. Bol Bowen just waited.
Yeah, ate it up. Appreciate the effort of Bol Bowen to come in from behind, be the second guy off the floor. Long arm dude at that 4 position.
Titus, number 8, burnt orange, back in. He plays with 2 fouls.
The Alabama is 5th in the nation at block shots, almost 7 per game. You don't want to be stubborn and challenge these dudes at the rim for 40 minutes.
Heidi, baseline, reverse flush.
They will tell you he's their best overall athlete, and that just summed it up right there. Known as a shooter, but man, in 2 bounces of the ball and to the backside of the rim.
Easy one for Philon in the paint.
Ravi, it's easy, yes, but it's not the shots that Nate Oates wants. Forcing Alabama to take 6 to 8 footers. Great game plan defensively by Texas.
Heidi's a Purdue transfer, a couple years, and you just saw him use all of his physical gifts for that dunk.
He went to the other side of the rim, did he not?
And threw it down hard. 7-point game. Sherrell's made a 3. Hands one off here to Allen in traffic. No good. And Titus has it.
Another tough 2 taken by Alabama. He got pushed.
Yeah, he did from behind. Great call.
Yeah, this is a Texas team that played UConn, what, about a 9-point game? You were there that night.
I was there that night.
You texted me and said, hey, Texas got some potential.
Yeah. And they're showing it tonight.
Great
defense, Traore again. Weaver all the way to the basket, and the Longhorns with an early statement here in the first half.
That defensive play sums up so far this first 20 minutes.
Largest lead, Sherrell. Yes, sir. Boy, how about a 6'11" guy going out? That's a 2 from the corner.
But don't overreact to that if you're Texas. They've made one, so be it. You've got the lead, and you're making life heck right now on Alabama's half-court offense. Yeah.
Wow, you got a stamp of approval.
I did get the from Seth, who watches every game.
He's a tough grader.
Man, I tell you what, you can ask Seth Greenberg about the 4th place team in the A-10 right now, and he'll break it down for you. He knows, man.
And supporting his point about Titus and the way you're using him, it's emphasized by the play of Traore tonight, who's been outstanding in a backup role. And there he is grabbing an offensive rebound.
They've been better with him on the floor.
Yes.
I love what Sean Miller told his guys today. Without mincing any words, he basically said, if this is too hard for you, we can make a deal.
Offensive rebound.
Yeah, if this is too hard for you playing for me, we can make a deal. I love the just straightforward talk he had with his guys today. Man, have they responded.
Swain in the paint, knocked out of bounds. Yeah, I think you have to make that point. He sat there in front of everybody that was in the gym, meeting everybody on the team in the shoot-around, and challenged a particular player and said, if this is too big for you, we can figure a way basically out of here for you.
Yeah, I can give you options.
Yeah.
Shoot it.
He likes to go to his left. Now he fades. Difficult shot, but that's the way it's going for Tremont Mark. He's got 16.
He is giving Alabama the business on their own floor.
No breathing room on the three-point line for any of them on this trip down.
I haven't watched every Texas game, but this is the best defensive half they've had this season.
Yeah, how many times have we seen a late shot, clock shot, Philon fade away too?
Hey, that's fine. I almost applaud if I'm Sean Miller. We guarded our tails off, and we made them take a tough two with a short clock. Now, can you hang on to this lead that you've worked your tails off for 18 minutes to build is the question.
Alabama has won 23 in a row against unranked teams in this building. Swain's deep, good help from Philon.
Boy, Mark just squared up Philon in open floor, which is very hard to do.
Holloway, and that's going to be a foul shot.
Sunny and Share Comedy Hour, the Flip Wilson Show. Rowan and Martin's laughing. Hey, I'm telling you, that play has flipped this game. At least momentum.
Yep. Weaver, very good defense. Philon forced into a tough shot.
I'm going to say that's the most tough twos Alabama has taken this year in one half.
Hollow.
Another beautiful release. Nope.
90 seconds, 6-point lead, Texas. Both of these teams like to get the scores into the 90s, and we're trending certainly in that direction. Philon the handoff, and an open three for Holloway. It's been like a layup for him. Great follow. And he went and got his own rebound on a missed three.
Shooters know when it comes off their hand if it's in or not, and Holloway knew from the second it left his fingertip.
4 on the shot clock. He's going to have to launch a long one. No, he penetrates. Finger roll, pretty play, Aiden Holloway.
He has really escalated that part of his game under Nate Oates, driving the ball in contact, not just hanging out at that three-point line, being much more of a factor on the offensive end.
20-plus points in 3 straight games for Aiden Holloway. Got 9 in this one. Mark, it's been a while. No good. And the box out by Sherrill.
Last 2 minutes are favoring Alabama.
They will settle for the last shot.
Probably go at about 8 seconds. Does he run a ball screen? Does he just want to go blow by again? Make him a banana cut driver, not a straight line.
He lost it. He gets it back. Bowen.
That has double dribble.
That might have been a double dribble. It was right in front of Miller, and he's saying, people that may have been watching, it didn't happen, and then was immediately reviewed or challenged. It was 2 possessions later when they went back and, in a sense, turned back the clock. It gave them all those free throws. They had a lead of 11 at one point, down to 1 as we begin half number 2. And Swain with a nice drive with the left.
That's how they started the game, talking about Texas. Not settling for anything. Finesse, driving the ball with force. And they have put a lot of pressure on that rim in this game.
Yeah, Allen wrap around Sherrill, blocked from behind, but he's able to regain and put back in.
Good job by Sherrill to move off the drive, knowing that his guy's in drop coverage, and get off to the opposite side of the rim for the easy drop-off.
Credit Texas defense, too. Holloway and Philon didn't make a 3-point shot in the first half.
You expect that would change, right?
You think. Mark was outstanding, as we talked about. He didn't have more than one field goal in the last 5 minutes. Yeah. Offensive rebound and a hustle play by Cam Heidi.
Quicker to the ball, just wanted it more. You talk about an explosive athlete as a shooter. It is Cam Heidi.
Holloway lost it. They'll settle. Philon 3. He's been off tonight, and a rebound for Texas.
He's been off since the start of conference play from 3. Philon has.
Camp down low, and that is a air ball from that close from Titus. What the public address announcer said.
Might be a break for Texas because that was on Swain, if anybody.
Operative word, if anybody.
Yeah.
Philon, he's dribbling through it. Hope is going to pick up a foul.
But Ravi, when Alabama's pounding the ball, that's not Alabama offense. They don't want possessions where there's one ball screen, a second ball screen, a third ball screen. That ball's got to be hot and move, and it's not so far to start this second half.
Yeah, early in the game, they were whipping it around here.
They were. You got to throw
threes.
Yeah, you got to throw strikes and fastballs to like your favorite sport.
Philon dribbled it down low. Great defense by Pope. He may have taken an elbow, but they're going to call it. We'll send Philon to the line. So Philon hasn't taken a free throw. Holloway has 7 of his 9 points from the free throw line. Another tremendous ESPN women's basketball tripleheader Sunday afternoon. Jimmy, number 22 North Carolina and Notre Dame at 1 Eastern. Then 12th ranked LSU gets the 2nd ranked Longhorns. And the afternoon wraps with Duke and Stanford and Palo Alto. How about Jordan Lee for Texas, who has seen her average go up to 15 points a game, and she was scoring about 1 last year. And against ranked teams, she's at 17, and she's a pre-med student.
I think you can make a case for Texas to be ranked number 1 instead of UConn. I'm okay either way, but Texas actually has 2 top 5 wins. UConn none.
Boy, Pope was wide open, and he and Mark are crushing Alabama tonight. Bowen met there by Titus, and it's deflected off the hands of Titus.
Alabama's been a little stubborn attacking that drop burnt orange wall in front of the rim. Look at Pope come off of it. You're just going under right now, and I know the percentages might say different, but Jordan Pope and Mark are making shots. You better go over everything in the second half if you're Alabama.
They have 32 of the 58 each with 16 points. Defense has been the difference in this game. There's no open, easy threes, and another one that was way off the mark.
Ravi, as a defender, your chest matters. Man, your chest matters, and Texas has knocked it out of the park in that part of the game so far.
Alabama 6 of 19. Pull up from the free throw line. Mark no good, follows it. Another offensive rebound for the Longhorns. That's their 9th. Titus plays with 2 fouls. They get it down low, and there he goes, and a nice soft touch for the 7-footer. Well-designed play by Texas, end of the shot clock. Holloway uses his body, and that's a nice play by the guard.
Well, that's an area he's really grown. But again, if you're Texas, you're still making Alabama take shots that they really don't want to take, those tough challenge 2s. Now they go back and think about that cylinder play. I believe the defender probably got his hand in the cylinder. Therefore, I can see why it was the right call.
Okay.
Through watching a 2-hour and 48-minute game Wednesday night between Alabama and Vanderbilt. The officials are calling the game like they're supposed to. I would be complete favor of giving both coaches 1 challenge per half. And there's 4 or 5 things you can challenge, and that's it. We cannot continue to make the game longer instead of shorter. We can't.
I think a lot of people are sitting at home saying, preach, Jimmy, preach.
As good in the country, if not the best, at 9-10-0 runs, especially on their home floor. The good news for Texas, they aren't turning the ball over rapidly. Only 4 turnovers so far in this game. Same thing for Bama.
Yeah, right out of the break, they had a backdoor play set up for Pope, but Williamson came over to help him, and he dove right into his body. Offensive rebound, no good. And Traore, who's done everything right tonight, missed a little one. Weaver with the battle on the ground. They got 4 on 2. Weaver denied there. Bowen. And an easy one on the other end for Philon. Wow, Bowen terrific.
They don't track block assist, but that's exactly what Bowen did. Those plays flip a building, not a game.
Well, Nate Oates just did his part to help the building. He's got people on their feet now.
Well, if you're Texas, stay spread. Don't turn it over. Take one late in the clock right now and try to get a good one.
Mark. Now they get 5. Pope and Holloway. Rises. Oh, he knocked it down, and he looks to sit him down.
And the stare into the student section by Jordan Pope. I mean, he took a pretty good hit. Stayed on his shot path.
19. Philon does not take the 3. Holloway will. And he missed again. Boy, the loose ball was in the arm of Allen, and he lost it.
Ravi, same thing here though for Sean Miller. Choke this game down a little bit, put their butts back in the seat, and use clock right here and don't turn it over and get a good one.
Can Alabama win a game as Pope launches again? Wow!
I don't know. I'm going to salute Jordan Pope. I don't do that too often. I don't care who wins, but man, has he answered the bell.
He's got 22. The question, can Alabama win without Philon and Holloway making a 3? They're combined 0 for 6.
3, and they're trying to get to a certain number. You get what you emphasize, and Alabama's a good free throw shooting ball club.
Stunningly, again, Philon and Holloway, no 3-point shots made tonight. There's 10 on the shot clock, and Allen has it way out top. Good hands by Swain. Now 5 on the shot clock. Allen forced one up, no good, and Texas will try to run.
I'm guessing 15, 16 tough twos. Alabama's been forced, not taken. They've been forced to take those in this game with this Texas defense.
Wiltshire denied. Weaver hustle. He looks at the clock, says I got plenty of time.
If he was 6'5" or 6'6", he'd be all SEC. Talking about Weaver.
Swain had an open 3, and he did not take it, and then he... Alabama has gone to 30% from 3, Jimmy. They're 6 of 20. They've made 4 of their last 17 attempts.
They got to move the ball. They're not a pound the ball offense.
There you get him inside of Sherrill.
That's okay though. If you're Texas, hang in there. Another possession where you work the defense side to side. You don't turn it over, and you continue to put pressure on Alabama on their home floor.
10-point game. Weaver. Heidi.
Boom.
Yes, sir.
How about Kendall Weaver to drive and play off of 2 feet, keep his composure, keep his balance, and throw a soft high school Harry pass to Camden High, just stepping into a 3.
Philon will have a chance for NFL viewers, 21-3 in your game. Close game here, and what should be a tremendous effort coming up here. And if you haven't seen this guy play, you need to. He is putting up A.J. DeBonsa historic numbers for a freshman. With plays like that, coming off of a 30-point triple-double. He'll be in action tonight in our game, which comes up following this one.
I did a lot of BYU-Utah games back in the day with Bob Carpenter out on the West Coast. There's just good old-fashioned hate between BYU and Utah. That's one worth staying up for. DeBonsa certainly is. The number 1 and 2 pick might be in the Big 12. DeBonsa and Darren Peterson from Kansas. I think they square off against each other later this month in Lawrence.
Yeah, that's a one-on-one must-watch. This Pope's too strong, but another offensive rebound. Titus doing his work, no good. And now a couple of tied players have it, and Weaver gets whistled.
Right.
8-point game. Pope's been outstanding with 22. Mark has been very quiet in the second half. 16 in the game, but nearly all of them in the first half.
That dribble hold again by Pope.
Can't get it to go. Bull Bowen, a star in the last game against Tennessee, playing big minutes again tonight. Philon tries to get the foul against Titus, can't get it to go. Look at the offensive rebound. There's a corner three. Too strong. And Mark's got a run out.
Good job by Bull Bowen to sprint back and square up Mark in transition. Not easy to do.
One-on-one, Titus against Sherrill. He lost it. Philon draws the contact, no call, but he gets it to go, and it's down to 6.
Again, Alabama's going to come 125 miles per hour. You can't run the defense in the high 60s. You got to match their speed. Get off a shot.
Millette picked up his third. So Swain went out, and immediately Alabama went on a 9-3 run. Difficult shot in traffic. And here they come, that 155-mile-an-hour machine, Philon. Sherrill gets it.
That's a good no call. There's going to be collisions at the rim in this league. You can't call one on every play. Good officiating and a heck of a game right now. SEC on Saturday night.
Mark is a streaky shooter. Can he get going again? Traore with 7 on the shot clock. Heidi's thinking about it. And now he'll launch. Too strong, terrific job underneath. That time on the defensive glass by Amari Allen.
Build a wall, stop the ball.
He did. Great job. And here is Swain. And we'll get a 2-shot.
Point line and just won the foot race to the rim. He's got a ton of potential. His lower body strength is impressive in person.
2 early fouls, and he still has 2 fouls in the game.
Yeah. And you know, he loves ball. A lot of guys, when they're that big, they play ball because the game chose them.
Yeah.
He chose the game as a 7-foot, 265-pound mountain.
Swain couldn't go to the floor. He's got 4 fouls. So does Jordan Pope.
You better stay up on Holloway. Any ball screen, you better get up high and hot.
Pope out of the game on the defensive side. Wiltshire in for him. Holloway once again tries to absorb a blow, and Swain rips the rebound. Mark, good defense, still threw it up. Swain, offensive rebound and in.
Just outworked Alabama. I mean, Tremark brought that thing with force, but Swain got right in front of the rim, carved out space. A huge get back.
17 offensive rebounds. Titus will get the foul.
Second half at Knoxville, and he had about 48 hours to get his guys right. Big time coaching job by Sean Miller. I don't know if they're going to close it out or not, but man, what a response.
Yeah, and the free throw to sit through that.
Yeah.
The officials could have realized that right away and not gone through the process. Philon knocks down the free throw. It's a 2-point ball game, 4:40 to go.
I'm going to bail out the officials. I think they realized it as they reconstructed the play and went how far they have to go back, and they realized we're past the point. But regardless, we got to clean the game up. with the appeals and the challenge. His cousin is Caden Henry Jr. She's a junior. She's a starting center fielder for Texas's national championship softball team.
Alley-oop wide open, and it was missed by Jemison.
Man, make your layups, make your free throws.
And he could have come down with it and gone back up. There was nobody to defend him. Swain does not like the three ball. He draws the contact that's going to be on Jemison.
They're actually helping Texas because it just deadens the energy in the building.
Yeah. Philon, difficult pass that was broken up by Mark.
How good has Mark been on both ends?
Well, Swain, Heidi thought about it. He'll take a 2.
Why? I mean, but why is because Alabama ran.
Texas, free throw shooting for Alabama. They have now missed 7 in the game.
Man, Sean Miller can feel it by how he's clapping, how he's encouraging his guys. He's got guards that don't turn it over. He's in great position to close this thing out if he gets good looks.
Pope's been terrific. Down low, Titus, and he got fouled. Ooh, couldn't get it to roll. 11.5 points in SEC play, and he's got 7 tonight. Weaver is chasing Holloway all over the place. Philon goes downhill and lays it up and in. Terrific play with the left.
Yeah, because he was knocked off balance and finished with his left off balance, almost behind the rim. And here comes the crowd.
21 in the game for Philon.
Challenge got one timeout. You want to save it, though, for that coach's challenge off of an out-of-bounds call now.
They'd love to have Pope on the floor, 2 on the offensive end, but Swain, that's a goaltend, and that's going to be 2 for Dalen Swain.
If it's not Mark, it's Swain. Driving the ball strong with 2 hands. Again, nothing finesse, nothing finesse by either team. And Swain just forces his way through. Not hard body full help. It's kind of a hand help, and Swain just rips right through that hand help.
Remember, Jimmy, Pope and Swain each playing with 4 fouls. Philon, and that's good defense there. He was looking to pass it all the way across to the other corner where Taylor Bowen was waiting.
And if Alabama doesn't convert, man, do they start feeling pressure. Coming off of a loss at Vanderbilt. They feel like, and I agree, they're one of the best 3 or 4 teams in this league, but boy, would this be a blow on their home floor. You cannot do it in that league play.
Yeah, he just gets it into Holloway. Bad pass. Bowen wasn't aware of it. Weaver went down. They call it a jump ball, and it will stay with Alabama.
Yeah, they flipped it. Man, get on that floor, right? And both teams were quick to the wood. No one standing, no one bending over. Hope is not a plan when you're trying to close out a game and hope the ball comes to you, man. Go get it.
They get the switch now. Man, Holloway with a hard cut. He is down, and he lost it out of bounds, and it will stick with Alabama with 8 on the shot clock.
So if Holloway or Philon takes it out, you gotta keep an eye on them. They have plenty of time. Their out-of-bounds passer is a very dangerous spot.
Instead, it's an easy one and a 3-point play. Shifting his players in on every possession. The free throw is missed. Another one.
Just amazing. Both teams.
8th missed free throw of the game for Alabama.
We go back to Titus, and he's got a size advantage on the inside, no doubt.
The freshman Jemison is on him, giving up 5 inches. Pope pounds it down there, and they will get the... And that one is way off from Titus. 4-point game. Philon, triple team leaves open. The 3-point shot, and it is good from Bowen. They triple teamed him into a 1-point game.
Yeah, shot 41% last year. Hadn't been that number this year. Sean Miller's got to take a timeout. Yeah, that's a good call. guys to bang with 8 in burnt orange. If it's not Volkatitis, it's got to be Swain or Pope making a play and getting downhill. At worst, get to the free throw stripe on this possession if you're Texas.
Longhorns have scored 7 of their last 9 points from the free throw line by getting the ball down low to Volkatitis. Swain's in the paint. He rises too strong. Loose ball. Alabama has it and a chance to grab the lead.
If you're Texas, just square them up right now. Alabama is so good at those blow-by drive. They don't make banana drive. They are straight-line dudes downhill.
Philon open 3. No. And it's Mark ahead of the field. Jemison went up to block it, and Mark lays it in. He's got 18. Lead goes to 3. 20 seconds to go. And Nate Oates is going to set it up. Labaron